Yes, I'm Chris from the Encointer Association, and we have been a Kusama common good parachain since last winter, and I will gladly, I need to point, explain you our project today. So, first, I think we all agree that blockchain has been a tremendous technology, and we are developing it further. It's extremely powerful, and why am I telling you this? It is because one smart person once said, with great power comes great responsibility. And we have now here the potential to connect. And with blockchain has the power to empower. And where starts empowerment? It starts with inclusion. And this is where the first major problem is. Oh, why is it going? This is, okay. I intend to be here, yeah. So the first challenge we want to solve is financial inclusion. According to worldbank.org, 1.7 million people of the world are unbanked. They are standing outside the fence of the global financial ecosystem. They have no chance of getting into it. So today you might think, why is that a problem? They don't need to hassle with banks, there's other alternatives. But it is not that easy, because a great part of those 1.7 million people, they stand outside the system for one specific reason. 1.1 billion people of the world, which is basically 15%, they are not having access to the financial ecosystem because they don't have a state-issued ID. So this is ridiculous. How if you stand here in front of me, but you don't have a state-issued ID, could I deny your existence? I guess not. You exist, but according to financial regulations, you do not. You have no access to the system at all. So they don't have access to the financial ecosystem. But people often, they have skills. They just lack disposable income to buy or to sell those skills. Especially in very deprived areas, people, they have everything except for cash. So in these areas, they are actually having everything beside the cash. So what is so only this absence of cash, this prevents the local community from developing. It stands there trapped in poverty, as has been recently evidenced in Venezuela. They have everything, but the cash is bad. So even if you get into the system, you here we see that crypto, I'm so sorry. Crypto seems to offer an alternative to get into the system, but does it really? What you see here is the Ethereum transaction fees, where the dollar is the vertical axis. You have the 90% percentiles of the Ethereum native token transaction fees, which is between $2 and $20, which means 90% of all Ethereum transaction fees, they lie between these two values. You also see the 90% percentiles of the ERC20 token transaction fees, which lies between $5 and $50. And on the horizontal axis, it's where it gets interesting. This is the global per capita daily income of people. So you see that, for instance, we have here like around the $20 mark. This basically excludes 40% of the people. They have less daily income than one single Ethereum transaction fee. So even if you're into the system, you cannot practically be part of it. So, and this is kind of where our idea comes in. We want to enable communities everywhere in the world to have their own digital currency and distribute it at regular intervals and use it in their own local economy. So the benefits we try to give to those people, they can basically be divided into two parts. We have the token economic aspect, and we have the personhood aspect. So from the token economic perspective, we want to have a local currency for local needs, which means that the value is determined by local supply and demand, and it is not driven by volatile macroeconomic factors. Secondly, Every Encointer community currency is subject to demurrage. Demurrage is basically a decay in value over time. For instance, in our first project, we have a 5% decay per 1 month. This gives an incentive to people to buy and to sell instead of hoarding the tokens. Then from a personhood perspective, one condition to receive the money is basically you attend ceremonies at regular intervals physically in person. This creates a link between the digital account to a physical person, giving them a unique proof of personhood. And lastly, we want to be accessible and inclusive. Everything you need to do to get some of these tokens is attend a physical key signing ceremony. You don't need a state-issued ID, and you don't need some fiat currency to enter the system. You just need to be at a specific point in time. I'll go more into that later. But there are challenges. How do we ensure that a person only gets the income once, a human being? We basically establish our concept on one principle. We assume that one person can only be at one place at one time. So this is how it works. At regular intervals, you have meetups assigned all over the world simultaneously at multiple places. So one person can only attend one ceremony at a time. At these ceremonies, you basically attest each other's attendance, which is done by QR code scanning on those ceremonies. Everyone scans everybody else, creating a fully connected graph. These attestations are later sent to the blockchain, where they will be evaluated, and after some time, you will get your community-issued income. Creating this digital account ID to a physical person in those meetups makes the system highly cyber resistant. So first we have talked about how Encointer works within its own ecosystem. But as we are a common good parachain within the global Polkadot ecosystem, we also might have implications for the rest. For instance, our cyber-resistant scheme that you get because you create one unique link from digital account to a physical person can be used outside of Encointer. We can share it via cross-chain communication. For instance, if you want to do an airdrop, you can make sure that one person only gets it once. Or even more interesting, you can have democratic voting mechanisms which are based on one person, one vote. And lastly, we can make the Web3 in general more accessible, because first, you can enter the system just by being a person and attending those ceremonies. And secondly, as we have local tokens that have its geographic value, a geographic coordinate attached, we can have purchasing power adjusted transaction fees. On our Encointer parachain, you can pay transaction fees in your local token, not in the global Kusama token. Well, you can if you choose to. And this is our first project that we have launched last May in Zurich. I introduce you the Loi. Loi is Swiss German for lion, and it's the iconic animal of Zurich. I'm not sure, I think something was wrong with the slides. This would be a video of our first bootstrapping ceremony that we did in Zurich to launch the Loi. You could see how people scan each other's QR codes and how they hung out for a little bit longer. You can also see, apart from all the benefits, that it has, that the community spirit thrives. So what have we achieved within those 1.5 months last year? We have made it to a local newspaper. We've had commercial turnover of a little bit more than 1,000 Loi. One Loi is currently 1 Swiss franc, and it's kind of packed. We have more than 700 transactions. We've had 152 ceremony attendances at those meetups. We've held 6 ceremonies, each scheduled every 10 days. We've had more than 400 accounts and 350 active devices. And we also have already 2 permanent acceptance points where you can sell, or where you can buy stuff by selling your Loi. And one is a local coffee shop, and then we have also a local grocery store. We have been at some open airs where we operated bars. Yes, apart from them, we had some meetup.com meetups where local or Swiss university professors, they kind of explained a little bit about the implications of local community currencies. So, you can take part if you want to. We have already an app in the App Store. It's called the Encointer Wallet app. You can download it and follow on-screen instructions. You will automatically be assigned to the Zurich community because there's only one on the LiveNet currently. We are in contact with some people to make one in Buenos Aires too soon. Yes, so you follow on-screen instructions, then your primary setup is complete. And we have prepared something for the Decoded event. We have 2 demo communities on our testnet. I will hand out some vouchers afterwards, which you can scan. The app will then ask you if you want to change to the testnet and to the suitable community, and we will hold some demo ceremonies here outside the venue. So yes, exactly. You can scan those QR codes. You will be assigned to the suitable community. And today at 6 p.m., we have just outside here, we will hold some demo meetups where you can go there. First, you need to register, which is around 1 hour before. So let's say at 5 p.m., you can register until 30 minutes before the meetup. Here you see it. The app is very... Now we also have in minutes when you need to register. Yes, you will be assigned to a meetup location. You can see it in-app what your specific location will be. And then when the ceremony starts, you can, I think there was one missing. Ah, yes, no, exactly. And when the countdown is over, you can start the ceremony. And you will be guided to the next screen. You first agree on how many participants are there. You can scan each other's QR code and submit your attestations at the end of the meetup. For those who only have Wi-Fi access, you just need to get to the previous screen while being in the Wi-Fi until you can see Start Ceremony. And then you can attend outside without internet, and your attestations will be sent as soon as you enter the Wi-Fi again. So, 90 minutes after the meetup, the testing phase ends, and you will be able to claim your community income. You need to do this actively. It's similar to how staking rewards are distributed. The computation overall would be too expensive, so it needs to be triggered by one meetup participant to evaluate that specific meetup. And yes, afterwards you will get 22 of your decoded demo currency. So it would not be fun if you could not buy anything with it. Of course, there's unfortunately no shops here, but for every meetup participant that has successfully attested enough people, you can import or export your account from the app, import it in Polkadot.js apps, and get your own unique NFT on the Statement network. Those NFTs are designed by P. Fragile. He's a Swiss generative NFT artist, and he has kindly supplied us with those NFTs for this event. Yes, so this is it. I think there would be... no, we're kind of in a hurry. You can ask me questions afterwards. I'll be around. And also, look out for those vouchers. You can scan these to change to the demo network. I will hand them out or approach me. Also, I'm the only one here from Encointer, and there's several meetups. So if someone or if some people could approach me so I can explain them in more detail how it works, I will be very grateful. You could guide other people, as I can only be at one meetup at a time. Thank you.